G'day everyone. So after much deliberation, what I'm going to build next, this is what I've decided on. I've had this in my stash for a couple of years or so, probably now. So it's Trumpeter's 1/32 scale P40E Warhawk, and yes, I have had it open because this won't be an out-of-box build. Somewhat. I've got some aftermarket for it, but these are your, if you were doing the schemes out of the box, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll just have a bit of a look at it. I haven't looked at everything on it, and I'll show you, or tell you how this one will be done. Let's get some gear out of there, stuff everywhere. Alright, so like that. I'm not going to show the decals because I'm not using them. Alright, so this will start in the cockpit, as is pretty much the norm for aircraft. So you're doing the seat harnesses, the floor section, the bulkhead with the cushion behind the pilot for his headrest, and you got side walls for the cockpit, and you're on to have you doing the spinner straight up, radiators, and you've got, I'm guessing they want propeller done up early because it's to go in, glue in so it spins, but I've never been fussed on doing that. Exhaust going in from the inside, and your tail wheel, cockpit, and the intake air scoop there with the radiators has to go in as well. And then they got the side glass on the fuselage, canopy and the windscreen going on. Again, the the side window doesn't go on, but the canopy would be last for me, or near last. Gearbase, so they've got an inner construction that plugs or sits into the wings. So on the wings we got some photo etch, and going with the plastic there for the control surfaces, but it looks like they can be posed open, and that detail is for the open. And once wings go on to the main lower wing, then it's onto the aircraft. Yeah, the cowl flap underneath. Well, not really a cowl there, is it? It's a in a way, I guess, not right up on front of the engine, but anyway, they can have that open or closed. And wheels, this one comes with the rubber wheels, but I won't be using them either. Landing gear going on, and you got gear doors, so it looks like the actuators for the gear doors, I think, going on there. And got drop tank, and some more photo etch on, inside the flaps area. And then finally is the rear control surfaces, horizontal stabilizers and the rudder, and your gun sight and a pitot tenor on the nose. I'm not doing a full, this is a quick look-see at the kit, but the interior you won't see anyway, but looks alrighty. So all right. So a bit of everything here. Rudder, stabilizers, flaps by the looks of it, and parts of the cockpit, and the spinner. So, gear legs there, parts of the cockpit again, seat, drop tank there, and unfortunately it's one of those models where they've put a recessed panel on for that's where the yellow tip begins. They need to fill that in. I don't know why they do that. Oh. Yeah, we got the exhaust stacks. Some of the actuators and that for the undercarriage, and so we got two different lots of exhaust on this one. You got the round style and you got this style, and I'll have to see which one I will be needing. My one, there's another rudder, which I won't take out. It's the radiator section on the air scoop underneath on the nose, and then you got those cowl flaps and photo etch. Looks like the older style Trumpeter, pretty heavy, and that's for the radiators. Toys I need. Alright, that's the side glass. This should be try that again. There's two 2 canopies, so one must be different to the other. Is it? I'm not really seeing it there, but must be something different. So, as mentioned, I'm not doing the out-of-box schemes. I'll be doing a Royal Australian Air Force, and there'll be Bluey Truscott's aircraft from 76 Squadron. So that's Brian and Decals. For those of you overseas, it's an Australian company, does all Australian markings for heaps of different aircraft. I can't remember now if he does, he might do other gear too, I think, but mainly Australian. For us Aussies who like to do a RAAF aircraft every now and then, and you can never find any bloody markings for it, and they don't come in the box like that. So that's the scheme. So it's got the so its main colour is foliage green, which is, as far as I know, is a Royal Australian Air Force colour. I don't think anyone else uses that. And the earth brown. This one's got like around the RAAF Randall. You can see it's got a darker colour, so it's fresh earth brown, whereas the rest of the scheme is more faded, is what the suggestion is there when they painted in the Randalls. And the underside is Royal Australian Air Force Sky, which is a very light blue. And interestingly, on this one, the hubs of the wheels are olive drab. So really, I probably didn't need to buy the decals, but I'll paint in the Randalls and the tail flash. But I really bought it for the, I know the serial number and the aircraft marking. Possibly I might try and make a stencil for them to spray it in, would be better. Right, so what else did I, this, like I said, I had it a couple of years and I bought a heap of aftermarket, so I don't know what I'll use. I'll definitely use the wheels. You can't beat resin wheels. That's number one upgrade aftermarket for me on an aircraft, is resin wheels. Now I got this, is not for this kit, it's for a House of Yow kit, but the hopefully the instrument panel is the same shape. I've been caught out on this type of thing before. I've bought instrument panel thinking, well, if it's the same aircraft, every manufacturer should be making them the same shape, but guess what, they don't. So this set came with a you got the metal photo etch harness, but I have a fabric, harness with the photo etch buckles. Undecided yet which one I'll do. I've done these type before, and they're a mini kit, trying to thread all that fabric through and all that. And I think the last time I used one weathering, I think I just soaked the fabric in tea, cold tea, I think, from memory, and it stains up the fabric. And I need to check, these are blast tubes for the yarns, but I'm gonna need to check if that aircraft I'm doing had them. I haven't had a really good look yet. I had a look, I saw a couple of black and white images of it, and I think they got it on those blast tubes, but I'll have to double check. Probably, if I can't see a picture of it, I'll, unless someone's watching this knows, or I'll ask on Facebook, because there's usually some gurus on there that know what's what. And I'm going to do a not a diorama, but more of a vignette, put it on a base. And I've already today I've printed up a heap. I found some Marsden matting steel planks, free file I found on Colts 3D for 1/32 scale. So I've printed a heap up. I don't know yet. That's enough. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I thought I'll get a head start on the additional work, groundwork. So looks like the gear, so that'll fit in nicely. And I mentioned I'd seen a couple of black and white photos of his aircraft, Papua New Guinea. So I had the Marsden matting on the old dirt strip with a couple of palm trees behind it, so I'll be probably doing something like that. That's my plan. So yeah, so I'll be not starting right now. I'm still working on Simon. If you watch this, Simon, here's your sword. Bloody P80, is it P80, F80, P80? FP80, the recon version. Finally beaten it into shape. I did those Kitty Hawk reviews and everyone going how bad Kitty Hawk is. I'll tell you what, you go and buy this kit and put it together and tell me what you think of Kitty Hawk then. This is the worst kit I've ever built. It is shit. And again, that's nothing on the guy I'm building it for. I actually asked to look at his stash, I think I mentioned before, and I picked out a few kits I'll do for him. I always wanted to try a sword kit, so I picked that one, and never again. I will never build sword again. They are shit, if that's anything to go by. So I'm going to do a bit more on that for him, because I told him I would. It's a bit of a not a bit of it, it's a real mojo killer, that thing, but got to be done, so I shall push on with that. And thankfully the hardest bits of that is about done now, so I'll get it into some paint, and then I'll start on this P40, and so yeah, this kit goes. I'm not sure how old this is. I hope it's better than the Corsair I did. Their old Trumpeter's old F4U Corsair, that was pretty crap, so I'm hoping this is a better model to go together. And yeah, I'll start hooking into that shortly, and it'll be my next full build.